So this is Trading Places. This is when we get the opportunity to recast our favourite characters with modern day actors. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we completely disagree. We've chosen this week as our main characters Murphy, obviously, Lewis, Clarence Boddicker, Dick Jones, and Bob Morton. So, Dave, perhaps we'll start in reverse order. What do you think of Bob Morton?
I'm loving the fact that the one character that I already told you that I really struggled with was the one that you thought you'd start off with and put the focus on me. So let's things can only get better.
Oh, come on, it's easy, this one. Toby Maguire. Oh,
Right. Honestly, I really struggled with Bob Morton. I think Miguel Ferrer, however you pronounce his name, who played him in the original, he's quite an unusual looking guy if you actually look at pictures of him. I know you like the general vibe of the character and stuff is he's kind of this cocky, kind of arrogant, up and coming, kind of yuppie character, isn't it? So I just really struggled to find someone that I thought could kind of replicate that. So I came up with, I don't know why. No, I don't know why. There was just something about when I say the name and you know what I'm talking about. There's just something about the vibe or something. So I went for Paul Anderson, who plays Arthur Shelby in Peaky Blinders. So the mad one.
Yeah, by order of Dave.
Yeah, by order.
I don't see that. I don't see it.
Well, I'll be honest. I'm not that convinced either. But I really struggled to. So I'm intrigued to know who you two went for. To be honest,
go on then, Adam, who's yours?
Okay, so I think that there's no point trying to replicate Miguel Ferrer. If I was trying to replicate, the closest I thought I could get is Titus Welliver. I don't know if you know him. He's Hieronymus Bosch from the Bosch series on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
He also plays loads of different characters. He's got a kind of...
He's a bit old for Bob Norton.
And so I was thinking, do you know what? Let's look at the character. And they tried to go for someone who is... trying to get to the top quickly, perhaps isn't as ruthless as Dick Jones, might even be a bit of a nice guy, but kind of, prepared to step on a few toes. So I decided to go out of left field. I've gone for Himesh Patel, from EastEnders and Yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that actually... I can see him in that role doing that thing. Mainly, I can see him having his kneecap shot off and struggling in that moment. But I think Himesh Patel would actually do a good role as Bob Morton.
Actually, he's doing really well at the moment. Yeah, I do like what he's doing. I've kind of sort of recast it. Now we're shooting the original film, but now so it's someone who can play a bit corporate, is a good actor. Could be a bit cocky, can show a bit of vulnerability. I think they're a bit, I don't know, I think they might be a bit too slight because Bob Morton still kind of held his own with Dick Jones. But anyway, I've gone for Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Cool.
I like
that.
I thought, it wasn't a perfect match, but I think I'm happy with it. I can live with that choice.
He was on my list. He was on my list because, I can see those sort of qualities of what he's like in Inception, I suppose, is what I was.
Yeah, and then he can hold his own because in Looper, he's a bit tougher and stuff. I could see him in a sort of suit. He's kind of just trying to fight his way up through the corporate world, and he's got his own ideas and forcing them through a little bit as well. I figured he could do that.
Okay, so Lloyd, you go straight on to Dick Jones. Who is your Dick?
Dick Jones. I went around the houses here, and then I kind of just made myself choose in the end. I wanted someone who's ruthless, but doesn't necessarily. I know, like Ronnie Cox, he did as soon as he's on the screen. Apart from when he was in Beverly Hills Cop 2, a bit of a nicer edge to him. But the other films, especially the Verhoeven ones, you just get this air of horridness to him straight away.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wanted to go for someone who could be corporate and you wouldn't know was attached to Boddicker at the start. but they could still sort of bring it round. And I've just gone completely left field here because they'd just be, they'd be delivering something, but they could be quite cold. And I thought it'd be really interesting to use Tom Hanks as Dick Jones.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Dave, what do you think, Dave? Your eyes are
David's unhappy.
Right? No, I think if people had never seen Robocop nor knew any of the characters, then I think it would work as a kind of like, the whole kind of subterfuge of him being, of him
Wilson.
Yeah,
but I think a straight remake of Robocop. If Tom Hanks was playing Dick Jones, you just know that it was Dick Jones, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
How about you, Dave?
That was mine. Right, can I guess Dave's?
Go on then.
Dave, what is the name of your dick?
Dave profiles by age, looks, age, appearance, and other things we got in. So I'm thinking how Dick Jones looks, and I think Dave's gone for Aaron Eckhart for Dick Jones.
Too young.
Damn it. So
you've got to when you cast, obviously, you've got to consider the cast as an ensemble.
Yeah.
So it's not just each person in isolation without any, there's got to be relative age compared, for me, I think, compared to the original. So, Dick Jones has got to be older than the other, doesn't he? So there was a few here. The one, and I did really, really, really struggle to finally make a decision. And I'm still not 100% convinced. So the names that I've got here, I had Kiefer Sutherland as a Dick Jones. I've got Ben Mendelsohn, who's one of my kind of go-to bad guy actors.
Yeah,
I really like him. I mean, he's kind of the character he plays in Ready Player One. Is a bit Dick Jones.
It is. It's exactly Dick Jones.
But he's 52. He's still probably too young. And I had Josh Brolin as well. But Josh Brolin's he's too good looking and even young looking to play like an old.
But how old do you think? How old do you think Dick Jones is? That I was thinking
he's probably only 40 in RoboCop.
Yeah, I think he's in his 40s. I do. I think he's in his 40s. But we were watching it, and we because I think the old man is like another 20 years on him. So the old man's like in his 60s.
Yeah, 60.
Yeah.
So I don't think you have to go that old. But it sounds like you have. Have you gone for Liam Neeson or?
I haven't gone. Well, I've gone quite old actually. I was thinking just more about it's kind of like. Bad guy credentials, really. So I ended up going for Willem Dafoe.
Okay,
he's not too old. Yeah, I think. Do you know what? He popped in my head at one point. Yeah. That's cool.
Few.
I've gone a bit younger because I was thinking with the Himesh Patel, Bob Morton character. I wanted somebody who was, say, I don't know, maybe 10 years older, 15 years older, so 40s, mid 40s, that came across as could hold their own, could be corporate, but also you could see that they were really ruthless. So I've gone with Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
Because I can certainly see him being ruthless enough to not care about killing anyone.
It's all right. I don't love it. It's all right though. I can get that.
Yeah. So Dave, if we go to Clarence Boddicker.
Clarence Boddicker.
Boddicker. I had a few for this.
I'm actually really happy with my choice for Clarence Boddicker, although I did break my own rule, I think, about age relativity. But my reasoning is it really doesn't matter how old Clarence Boddicker is in a Robocop movie. I think that it's important the difference between Bob Morton and Dick Jones, for example. There has to be that age. But Clarence is a criminal. He could be young, he could be old. It doesn't really matter. So I had two. There was two on the shortlist, and for me, they're quite similar. I almost at times in the past I've got them confused. Just don't know what the roles they play and even the actual things that they've appeared in. So one of them was Norman Reedus.
Oh yeah.
And that may have popped into my brain because I watched the Blade trilogy this week when I was off work sick.
Good call.
The person I eventually settled on is Michael Rooker. I think it would make an awesome Clarence Boddicker.
Yeah.
I just think he's got that. He's got that light and dark thing going on.
Isn't he about 80 now, then, Michael Rooker?
No, he's 103.
Because he was Mallrats, wasn't he? He did an episode of The Equalizer. I remember him in as well.
He's in his 60s, I think.
Right. No, I can see that. Yeah.
How about you, Lloyd?
That's right, Dave. I started going down the same sort of route as Dave. But I also wanted someone that you wouldn't expect to be the criminal. You know, they can walk around. Clarence Boddicker, if he's not being all the cocky thing, he could walk around looking quite respectable, couldn't he? You wouldn't expect him to be a crime boss and so ruthless and so evil to kill people. So at first, I discounted the age thing. I was thinking I just want someone that you wouldn't expect, but is very commanding on the screen. So I went for James Spader, but he's a bit too old. But I was thinking James Spader. He's if you've ever watched him in The American Office, he's very, very. He's so commanding, very manipulative, and yeah, exactly. He's really good, but he's just a bit old for this. So then I went a bit back.
He was on my list, by the way.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Then I went another way, and I was thinking, right, just someone who, you wouldn't expect to be that evil, but you could see him as a baddie. But you know, they could be a bit of an action star. I went Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
So the other way, and then they brought it back in the centre. I thought I want someone that's going to be unexpectedly evil that you wouldn't expect to, but they can act, and you're going to be really shocked when they shoot someone in the head. And
Jimmy Mallet.
No, but I'm hoping they can do the performance, and I think they can. I've seen him acting in a few other things, so I went really madly left field. Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, really?
And Clarence Boddicker.
Galifianakis.
Yeah. I thought it'd be shocking for him to be in that role, but I think it would just be. Can you see him doing it? I can see him giving the lines, you know, with his face and stuff.
Have you seen Between Two Ferns?
Here and there, yeah. I saw a bit of the Matthew McConaughey one.
He's capable of being fairly obviously in a tongue-in-cheek way, but I think that would be quite entertaining.
It would, wouldn't it? Because as long as he could, you know, he'd do it all deadpan, there'd be no comedy apart from the dry comedy of Clarence Boddicker. And just for him to be there delivering these lines, but he's got the authority behind him because he's got no barrier between him doing these evil things. So you might think, oh, he's not very threatening, but he's going to, it just seemed to work when I thought of him in my head.
I like that. That's a good one. I mean, the whole point of doing this is occasionally we throw in some people that, you know, it shouldn't be the same 5 actors that we just circulate all the same time, and so bringing in some new blood.
Jennifer Lawrence, Ben Mendelsohn,
Chris Pratt. So Chris Pratt is not on my list of these things. I've gone for someone for Clarence Boddicker that I could like close my eyes and hear saying the same lines. That was the thing for me, is all those iconic lines and like maybe spitting on the desk, that kind of thing, almost doing the same job as is it Kurtwood Smith or whatever his name is? Sorry. You know, somebody you could hold their own doing that. And I started thinking about other films from Verhoeven, different actors from there. And I was trying to combine the two. And I settled for somebody who I think would be the right age now, command the room very, very well. But also you could see having a little bit of charisma at the same time as being really, really evil if they want to be. And that's Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, he could do.
He's kind of like the young Willem Dafoe, isn't he?
Exactly. And because my actors in my list, my actors are probably all about, each actor is probably 10 years younger than each of yours, Dave. That allows me to sort of reel it in a little bit. So yeah, Kevin Bacon's my Clarence Boddicker.
Cool.
So I think for me, possibly the easiest and the hardest one was Anne Lewis.
Lloyd and I, all three of us will get the same one initial, then we'll go. But then we thought about
Lloyd and I think we know what Dave would choose if he's true to form. He might have chosen. We reckon that you might have chosen someone, Dave, who you've chosen before for another role because she would be really good in this role, and then we've gone, we're not choosing her because Dave might choose her. So I'll go first. I won't say who that person was, but I had a couple of choices. I like the idea of an actor who had really short hair and she could play really like strong roles, like fighting roles, that kind of thing. And I thought of a number of different.
Have you gone for Sigourney Weaver circa 1993?
I've gone for Sigourney Weaver circa 2021, so I've gone for Mary Elizabeth Winstead,
Yeah,
who I'm a bit of a fan of.
I've got Mary Elizabeth Winstead down for Dave's choice because I thought Dave was going to choose her for Lewis.
Yeah, because I think she'd be perfect because she's exactly the kind of character actor that you'd expect playing Lewis. So that's who I've chosen.
That's why I thought it was Dave. Who's going to say it? Dave's the predictable one on this.
No, my choice for Dave. Can I tell you my choice for you, Dave? I thought you'd be really, really like pro Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Oh no, I haven't got that.
Lloyd, do you want to go next?
I'm going to guess Dave's, and I'm going to tell you the others because I chose Dave's initially, and I thought Dave's got it, so I can't.
Why don't we just change the segment to everyone just guesses what I'm going to guess?
So we got Gina Carano as Lewis because she can hold her own as this tough ass cop. Have you not chosen her, Dave?
No.
That's cool. I might keep her then.
You'll find out in a minute.
I might keep it. And then I thought I went down a whole rabbit hole and I got to Abby Cornish at one point.
Oh yeah,
she's kind of kooky. She can act very, very well, and she's got like a little tough side to her as well. But then I thought she's a bit too pretty, and that's not what the role's about. It's not about a love interest or a lust interest for the viewer. So then I went to Natalie Dormer.
Right.
She can play quite tough. She can play quite classical. She's an English actor. But I could just see her in the role. I remember seeing a picture where she'd shaved up one side of her head. I just thought, she looked a bit kick-ass, and I thought, she'd be good as Lewis. She's very good. She always builds a rapport with, on screen with the people she's acting opposite. So I thought she'd do really well opposite Murphy.
I
like that. Good call. Dave?
This segment of the show is entitled Lloyd and Adam Got It Wrong. So let's do the top three. So
for God's sake, Adam, Dave.
To be fair, Dave, there's a large percentage likelihood that of all the people you could choose out of all the actors in the world that would get it wrong. The odds are pretty poor.
For me, I find it always more interesting to hear who we almost chose than when we unveil who we did choose, because I think it shows that kind of thought process. I think it's interesting. So I don't know what I was looking for in the actresses that I chose, but I guess I was looking for actresses maybe that aren't 100%, known for action roles, really, because the whole Lewis thing is she doesn't look like she's a I know she's pretty capable, isn't she? But she doesnn't look like it, really.
She acts like it, doesn't she? She embodies the role completely.
Yeah. So the names that I had, the two that came close but didn't make it were Emilia Clarke and Zoe Saldana. At one point, I thought switch it up a bit, because we're going to remake RoboCop. I was thinking, we're going to need to be thinking about, can't just be having white people in all roles, can you? So, but I didn't go for Zoe Saldana in the end. It was really close. She was there until right before the end.
Are you printing your answer, Dave? Are you sending something to a printer to your right? You're going to take over the sheet.
I'm just fiddling.
My answer is
I'm just fiddling with stationery. So the actress that I finally settled on was Emily Blunt.
I was about to say it before. I googled top 30 actresses under in their 30s, and she was there, and I thought, nah, no one's going to pick Emily Blunt. We've already had her loads of times. Oh, damn it! I should go back in time.
Emily Blunt's always somewhere on the list, so that's why I didn't put her on.
Very good at it. She's very good. She was almost too obvious. That's why I didn't choose her, but she's very good, and I wish I had chosen her. Right, Robocop.
Okay, so Emilia Clarke's a good call as well. She was probably second or third on my list. I just assumed that you'd choose Lady Gaga. So the star of the show apparently is Murphy. Who would you choose, Lloyd, as your Robocop?
As soon as this actor
Joel Kinnaman
fell into the role, I couldn't get anyone else in there then, and I was thinking like Ryan Gosling and stuff, for like the way they can act and the way they could basically perform physically. But this actor's too old, but he fell into it anyway, and then I couldn't get him out of the suit. So it's Paul Bettany.
I like it.
Paul Bettany on my list as well. Very, very
Really?
close to being my Robocop. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's when we unveil our choices, yours might be different, Adam, but there's an element of you naturally gravitate towards actors that have done something similar already. Vision, obviously. So
it's not even that. It's like the role of, obviously, Vision's there as one of his characters, but it's like, you see him. I suppose you're right, Dave, aren't you? Because you see him, you visualize him acting as Vision, but it's just the way he acts in general. Even in Da Vinci Code, he moves a certain way, he talks in a certain way. He was doing an American accent in a film or something I've seen him in recently, and he still moves in a certain way, and it feels like that someday it's going to be revealed that Paul Bettany is actually an android.
Okay.
Hence my choice.
So Dave, your choice?
Yep. So Paul Bettany was on the list for I wanted to go somewhere slightly different with it. I was trying to think of actors that, I guess what I was thinking was Peter Weller. I know that he'd done The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, but he wasn't a huge star, was he? And he was cast more for his kind of unconventional look. So I was trying to think of that. And so at one point I was really adamant it was going to be Will Poulter, because I'm a massive Will Poulter fan. I really like him. And then I started thinking about people that look a bit unusual. And then I started thinking about Bill Skarsgard.
Oh yeah.
But
Skarsgard's always come up.
But he's probably too tall and willowy, to be honest, to pull off Robocop. He'd be too tall in that suit.
You could have looked at that bit, though, haven't you?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how tall they are.
You mentioned Will Poulter. Isn't he going to be Adam Warlock?
Yeah, Adam Warlock.
In the New Guardians. Yeah. Apparently he's like really kicking it doing that, isn't he?
I mean, he did spend a lot of time scrutinizing men's chins and lips in the last few days.
and scrutinizing them.
Scrutinating, yeah. But then
that's your flying these days, isn't it, Dave?
Is that what you did? It's like for Robocop, like every time you saw an actor, you just went, no. And then I
realised I couldn't see anything, and that wasn't going to help my research at all. So the actor that I settled on, again, fairly obvious, I would say. He's got form playing these kind of characters already. You've already mentioned him, Adam, in another role. So I thought that Michael Fassbender would make a really good Robocop.
Yeah,
but obviously he played an android in, was it Prometheus?
Yeah, and Alien Covenant.
Yeah. But I just think he'd be great. I think he'd be great as Robocop. I think he's enough of the everyman and believable, with the emotionless kind of thing.
Yeah,
as well.
I'd say so. Yeah. I like that.
But getting on a bit as well, actually.
My choice for Murphy was, if you know the film that I've been watching, probably I've watched about 6 or 7 times since we last convened. I think it's a brilliant film. And I was thinking about, if you made Robocop now, how should you make it? Would it be somebody who's a bit more, edgy as a character? Would it be a white actor? Would it be somebody else? Would it be female? And I went around the house a little bit, and then I thought, am I trying to be too clever? I'm going to try and change too much. And then I was thinking, no, I really like this actor. He can play sort of like different characters within the same film. So I've gone for Jonathan Majors. So The Harder They Fall is the film I've been watching lots and lots at the moment. But also he plays Kang, doesn't he, in Loki and the multiverse movies as coming up.
I think you say Jim Carrey then.
No, well, to be honest, I did look at him for Dick Jones at one point, because I thought he'd be quite an interesting, as a kind of, him as a comedic actor, but he's playing it straight. But no, I thought something about Jonathan Majors that would be he could do something that maybe is a bit different. So not just remaking it, but trying to make it a bit more modern. I mean, if I was trying to remake it exactly, I was looking at someone like Aaron Taylor-Johnson, from Kick-Ass, and I thought he now probably would sort of fulfill that Peter Weller role. But yeah, I've gone for Jonathan Majors.